we're having 1-800 Dr. Laura, 1-800-375-2872. Overthinking. Overthinking is my subject matter for today. Chronic overthinkers go over conversations again and again and again and again, second guess every decision, everything they said, imagining disastrous outcomes all day, every day. I don't know how you do this without having your stomach wrapped up in knots. Overthinking requires two procedures. One, dwelling on the past, dwelling on the past. I shouldn't have said, I should have stayed. Whatever. And then there's in addition to the dwelling, there's the worrying, usually leading to catastrophic predictions about the future. It's a tough way to live. Some of you are sitting there right now, smiling because you know it's a tough way to live. And I'd like you not to have to suffer like that. Wouldn't you? It's a habit. And changing even destructive habits can be tough. But if you practice, you can train your brain not to do this anymore. First thing, and we've said this many times on the program, actually we've said all these things many times, is recognize that you're replaying, worrying about things you can't control. Just stop and go, God, I'm ruminating and I'm worrying to the catastrophic. This is irrational way to use my brain. This is a destructive way to use my brain. This hurts my brain. It hurts my body. It hurts my soul. It hurts my happiness. It hurts everything. The other day, something was really upsetting me. And I was starting to do the going over it, worrying about it. And I went, this is not good. So I went for a solution. Best place to go. What's a reasonable solution? I mean, there are things over which you have no control, and there are things you can take some steps in figuring out or doing something about. One of the things that happens when some people call is they go, everybody, always. And I go, okay, first thing you have to do is stop exaggerating. Because when we exaggerate, we put ourselves in a place which is hopeless. So you have to stop exaggerating. Everybody at school hates me. How many kids are in the school? 1,000. How many of these hate you? 3. Okay, then. Looks like we have a few others to choose from. And I've had that kind of discussion. But that's what your brains sometimes just do. Get exaggeratedly negative. However, I think if you want to ruminate and worry, everybody needs to do a little of that. Because sometimes you just get swept away with the moment and you're fearful. So take 20 minutes. Put the timer on. Get your cell phone on. How do you do that? Right there. On clock, and then set it to timer. Set for 20 minutes and sit there and worry and ruminate and come up with the most horrible thing that could possibly happen. And in 20 minutes, stop. Just stop. Just say, I have to stop now. You may find that after a while you stop sooner. But I think we should start out with 20 minutes. So what do we do now? We figure out what's happening here and now in this moment. What's happening in this moment? What's going on in my life this moment? how about I just breathe in this moment? And just breathe. And just listen to my breath, feel the chest go up and down, whatever. Just be in the moment. Now, you ever hear of channel on your TV set? Good. Well, you can change the channel to, I have to do this piece of work on the net. I have to read this thing. I have to do 20 jumping jacks. I have to call somebody up and see how they're doing. In other words, you change the channel. You don't solve anything, maybe. So what? Right now you can't anyway. Jeez. So just change the channel. This is a way of training your brain not to go into overdrive. I like changing the channel, hobby, exercise, phone call to somebody that you care about. Call somebody else and show that you care about them. Every now and then, if I get struck with a particularly dark mood, I just feel like crap right now, pick up the phone and I call somebody and see how they're doing. So how's it going? So how are the kids? How was your trip? How was this? How was that? By the end of the phone call, I'm not in a crappy place anymore. It's amazing how easy it is to A, get out of the crappy place, and B, do something benevolent simultaneously. My number, 1-800-375-2872. Casey, welcome to the program.
Hi, Dr. Laura. Sorry, thanks for my call.
There you go. I can hear you now.
Sorry. So I'm classically overthinking. I'm 28. My husband is 31. We just got married a couple years ago. I've had a really good relationship with my sister-in-law. She's my age as well. She makes bad decisions with boyfriends over and over and over again. All she wants is to be married and have babies, yet she continues to make bad choices. So she started dating a guy in November, and then in February, she came down to visit. She lives in Arizona. We're in Texas. She came to visit, and she told me that he had been through a marriage before that ended in an annulment, and all of our families were very like Christian, religious. She was worried that everyone would judge him for that. And I told her, if it's true, everything that he said, it didn't seem like that big of a deal. The girl had been bipolar and cheating on him, refusing to get help, and hid the fact that she was bipolar from before the marriage. So I said, if
really,
that's all
I think
true,
there are a lot of people who would love to know how you hide bipolar. I've never known that anybody had that capability, because a mental illness is what it is.
Right.
So there's something wrong with the story already.
Okay. So
anyway, why is this any of your business?
Okay. I figured you would say that.
But why is it any of your business? So tell me in one sentence how that impacts you or your marriage.
My husband's parents are planning on taking all of us out on a
so what?
nice...
That's nice.
Okay.
This is none of your business.
Okay. So
picture this.
Some weird
bitchy you go to the parents and say, she's dating a guy who had an annulment and we're Christians. So the Christian thing to do would be not to take them on the vacation and to kick him away. Ma'am,
okay.
Can you just breathe for a moment? Just breathe for a moment. Because that's where this conversation was going. You could only be calling about one thing. Telling the parents.
Yes, and I told her I'm not going to do that. I forgot to tell you a part of it.
Oh, you forgot something. After I nailed you, you forgot. What did you forget?
No, I do think you're right, but tell
me what you forgot.
That this guy, we found out that the guy was married while they were dating.
This is still none of your business.
Now.
He is divorced. He's annulled. The whole story is a lie. There's much more to it, but none of it is your damn business. And tell your husband that's true too for him.
Okay. Okay, I needed to hear that because I have been overthinking it a lot.
That's
Okay,
right.
so there,
That's
okay.
You just got married. Work on making your marriage beautiful and consistently beautiful. Work on being his girlfriend. Let's not work on finding out everybody's dark places and outing them.
Okay.
Let's just leave
so
that alone.
Okay, we let him he can come down and visit. We treat him nicely, and they work it out themselves, and I stay out of it.
Right, unless he does something immoral or illegal, and he hasn't. He did something immoral, but we don't even know what's the truth of the story. I don't know if they were totally separated when he started dating. We don't know any of the real truth.
Okay.
Because the pieces are ridiculous. Nobody hides being bipolar for years. Just doesn't work that way. That would be a great cure. Go to the psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist says, just hide it. Just hide it. That's okay. You don't need medicine. Just hide it. My number, 1-800-375-2872. Billy, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Dr. Laura. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So I called a few weeks ago because I needed your advice on how to approach the subject of marriage with my boyfriend. And I'm calling back to give you an update. First off, I want to thank you for empowering me during that phone call.
Good.
Because I reflected after we hung up. I told you I was going to talk to him that night, and the way that circumstances kind of rolled out, I didn't get the opportunity to. However, I invited him over for dinner the next day, and I just mulled it over, right, all day,
Good.
just mulling it over. And by the time that he come over, I was in the kitchen cooking dinner, and I thought, okay, this is do or die. So what I ended up doing was I subscribed to the podcast through the website.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, hey, I want you to listen to something. It's really, really insightful. So what I had did is I found my phone call clip and blasted it. And long story short, I'm now engaged. So I want to.
So he listened to your phone call to me and coughed up the money for a diamond ring and a promise of a commitment.
Yep. A week later, him and I went to pick the rings out. So
nice.
Yeah, I really want to thank you for the empowerment.
What was when he heard the podcast? What was his immediate reaction? Tell me.
So I was trying to watch his face without being super obvious of what was going on. And he had a huge smile on his face. And he was shaking his head up and down, kind of nonchalantly, agreeing with what the discussion was. And, of course, I started crying. He come over, and he's like, of course I'm your person because you're mine. So it's, sorry, I'm trying not to have cracked up voice. I'm just so extremely happy that
so you're telling me he just needed his butt pinched?
He did. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. He did. Yes.
Good. Well, it was either cough up or shut up. Yep.
Absolutely. And the reflection that I had, the time between speaking with you and then the reflection was just, I think it hit me like a ton of bricks. I feel as if I'm a strong female, as far as work goes and things of that nature, but I've always been weak in my relationships as far as personal relationships. And,
well, that gets you nowhere, does it? You worry about being rejected, and then you end up with nothing anyway.
Absolutely. You're absolutely correct.
Good for you. I'm proud of you. Good girl, Billy. Thanks for calling back. That was wonderful. Congratulations. What does the ring look like, by the way? Describe it.
So it's a very simple ring.
Mm-hmm.
It is white gold with a half-carat diamond, which that's what he can afford, and I love it.
And what kind of setting is it? Is it just one of those where it holds it up real high, or what is it?
It is where it holds up real high, and then the wedding bands that we're picking out for it there's going to be diamonds all the way around.
Okay, then I'm just warning you right now, be careful when you wear wool sweaters.
I think I'll probably guard this with my life.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Laura. Appreciate everything.
Okay. You have a ring now. You need a date.
Absolutely. I'll send you an email as soon as we have it.
Please, because you're not really engaged without a ring and a date.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Go for it. Okay, so go talk to him about the date now. My number without the podcast, 1-800-375-2872. We'll be right back.
One part reality check.
For you to spend one emotional moment, enjoy the beautiful weather. The Casper mattress combines 4 layers of pressure relieving foams for all night comfort. It's softer under your shoulder, firmer under your hips for healthy alignment and extra support. Plus, the breathable foams are designed to keep you cool all night. With bed frames and even a dog bed, Casper has everything your whole family needs for a guaranteed great night's sleep. All mattress orders also have free shipping and free returns, so you can try your Casper in your own home for 100 nights risk-free. You'll love sleeping on a Casper mattress. I do. I have the wave. So go to Casper.com, use the code Dr. Laura for $100 toward the purchase of select mattresses. Cool. That's Casper.com, code Dr. Laura, and get $100 toward the purchase of select mattresses. Additional fees may apply for Alaska and Hawaii. Terms and conditions apply. Okay, you can reach me, talk to me, so you hear yourself tomorrow on a podcast at 1-800-375-2872. Tiffany, welcome to the program.
Hi, Dr. Laura.
Hi. What's up?
Thank you for taking my call. I was calling because I have an awesome situation, with my mother-in-law. We work together to educate my children. I have a 2nd grader and a 4th grader, and we go together really well. Because
okay, I'm having your sound is sort of going in and out.
Oh, I apologize. We live in the country. No.
Oh, okay.
We live in the country.
Well, good
Does
for
it sound
you.
better now?
Living in the country is nice. All right. What can go ahead.
I'll try to stand still. Does that sound better?
Yes. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, great. And so we work together, and she's more the language arts kind of teacher, and she's fantastic. She was a teacher for over 40 years, and then I'm more the math, science, history kind of buff, and I do great on that part. We work really well together. But she retired from teaching last year and moved across the street from us. And since she has done that, we've always known that she likes to drink socially and, even in the afternoons to wind down. But it's become much more obvious that it's a bigger problem, her drinking. It's not a problem as far as her interactions with the children. She never, in the middle of homeschool is, popping back a beer or something, but it's just more like.
Well, how do you, wait. Do you give her a breathalyzer? How do you know that when she's with the kids, she had, if you want to laugh at this, then I can't take it as seriously.
No, I just mean it's not a time that she's irresponsible with the children. It's more, I'm just concerned about how often she drinks and the effect.
Well, the rest of it is none of your business. The only thing that is your business is that when she walks into your house, she's not drunk.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I need to
tell her. So you need to tell her that.
Okay. Yeah, she does not do that.
You need to. When somebody's a drunk, you don't know what they're doing or not doing. You have no way of knowing.
Okay.
So you need to tell
her attitude is different. I mean, her attitude is not that.
Are you just not wanting to hear me because I'm putting some responsibility on you? Because you keep cutting me off. You cut me off 3 times.
Okay. I apologize.
You need to tell her that her drinking is her personal business. But if you have to do a breathalyzer before she comes and takes care of the kids, you will. Because your moral responsibility is to take care of the kids, not to worry about pissing her off.
Yes.
So you need to be honest with her. Honest. Open. Your drinking is your personal business. But if you're going to come over here and or spend time with the kids, I need to know that you haven't been drinking. So if we need to do a breathalyzer, so be it. But at least that day you should not be drinking, because I really don't want you here if you're under the influence. Love you dearly, but not if you're under the influence.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that we shouldn't.
Do you have the courage to say that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Good. Well, let me know how that goes then. Very few people have the courage to do that, so I'd be curious to see if it actually happens. But I believe with addicts and drunks that you have to be on the table about how you're going to handle it so that they're on notice. My number, 1-800-375-2872. Mary, welcome to the program.
Hi, Dr. Laura. Thank you so much
Hi.
for taking my call. I'm
Sure.
looking for advice. A new mother-in-law. So I have a daughter-in-law. My son and her have been married for a year by Justice of the Peace. She was from another country, came here for her MBA. Student visa was coming up. So they're
And
doing
what
a church wedding.
country is she from?
El Salvador. And she's lovely.
And how
we
long?
love her.
And how long did they date?
A year. They met at work, dated a year, and then got married. But okay. So we're having a church wedding in 2 weeks in our hometown. So they said they would have it here, so my mother could be there and other people. And it's lovely, high-end restaurant. Everything's beautiful. My husband and I are paying for most of it. Her parents are contributing amount, but we're paying the brunt of it. And everything, it's been stressful since the beginning. But anyway, last week.
I'm sorry, what has been stressful?
Planning it from afar and then obviously giving thoughts and ideas. Everything was no. They didn't want this. They didn't want that. I'm like, well, some of the stuff, we're doing a wedding, not just a dinner, like, make it a wedding. So giving them my thoughts, my ideas, my husband's, or helping with the planning. So last week, my son and daughter-in-law.
Not sure I understand what you're saying to me. I'm thinking back when my son and daughter-in-law got married, and I did none of the planning. That was all her.
Because we're hosting and paying in our city. They're not from our city. They're from another city.
So what? That doesn't change anything.
Okay, that's part of the rules I don't think I realized.
It's her wedding. If you volunteered to cough up the dough, that's nice, but that doesn't give you room monitor mother status. So if there's some difficulty because of all your ideas, you shouldn't have any unless asked.
Okay.
It should all be, tell me what you want.
I'm already a year into that, so I've already made that error.
Okay.
So they didn't, getting them to a baker, to right bakery, getting them to the florist, and when they came in,
you shouldn't have been getting them to anything. That's theirs. And if they're in charge of that, then nobody can get mad at you.
Okay. Well, it's a little late, so I got dressed down.
If you're calling me a little late, then what am I supposed to do now?
What do I do moving forward? I just bought a book, mother-in-law book, and I'm learning. And I just read that, they don't want advice, they don't want this. I didn't know this before. I mean, I am very giving, and anyone you know me would tell you I'm very giving.
That's not giving.
Kind,
that's controlling. That's not giving. That's controlling. That's disrespecting.
Okay. I've never been told I was
her
controlling,
status.
So that's new for me. Okay.
Well, then I'm totally wrong. If you've never heard that in half a century, then I can't possibly be right. No. If you haven't heard that in half a century, I must be wrong. So it's just that you're just so nice. And it's not being appreciated how incredibly nice you are. So give her a call and say, I apologize for being overly nice. From now on, I will take your lead. You make the decisions, and I will happily, if I can, be useful to you in any way you would like. That might be a nice way to repair whatever problem there is.
Okay. Okay, I appreciate that. I'm learning, and I want to learn, and I want to do it the right way.
You mean you never had a mother-in-law? Really?
I had a wonderful mother-in-law. And she was from another country. She was from Canada. So I saw her. I didn't ask where she was
from. I just said, did you have a mother-in-law? So it's impossible that you know nothing about being a mother-in-law. Impossible. You BS a lot. You BS me about 3 times in this phone call. Okay?
Wow.
You are controlling. Okay. Somebody has said it. You already know what it is like to be a mother-in-law, and you damn well know how to apologize if you're willing to accept responsibility. So 3 things you already know. I am just here to remind you of what you already know. And I appreciate the opportunity. My number, 1-800-375-2871. We're going to take a break. I'm 72. What am I? I don't know who you're going to call at 71. 1-800-375, but you're going to annoy somebody. 2872. I'll be right back.
Important questions call for important answers.
If the fear of the...
Speaking to one another, because now...
Okay, you do live under the same roof, right?
Yes, we do.
And you sometimes are in the same room at the same time. Is that correct?
Yes.
Well, then you have the opportunity to sit down, take his hand in yours, and say, I have a feeling you're not happy in this marriage. We're not connecting. I'm not happy. How can we fix this? Do you want to? It's called having communication. And do not now tell me you did that.
No.
And he won't talk. Please don't tell me that because it'll make me crazy.
No, I haven't.
So that's what you need to do. It's called communicate. No, not every time. I said you take his hand in your hand. You have not done that. I say, I have a feeling that you're not happy. We haven't been intimate in 5 years. We're very disconnected. I assume you're not happy. I'm not happy either. We have kids. We have 30-year history. You want to talk about this? Is this something we can make better? You haven't had the conversation that honest, that open. You haven't.
That's right. No, I haven't.
That's what you need to do tonight. That's what you need to do tonight. It's called communication.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay?
I will do
What's
that.
The first thing you're going to do?
The first thing I'm going to do is sit down. Now, do you suggest in the house or
That is not the first thing I told you to do, I didn't say. I said, "Oh, come on."
No, you
this
said
is such
a.
All right, be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet.
Okay. All right.
First gavel of the week.
Okay.
Just be quiet.
Okay.
I said, "Do you live under the same roof?" You said yes, and I said, "Well, tonight." Now, why would I then say, "No, you can have it at an amusement park"? In your home, the first thing I told you to do was take his hand. Look how you avoided that. There's a reason you two suck as married couples, as a married couple. Because you want to avoid doing all the loving, tender, touching things that people are supposed to do when they make vows and love each other. They're supposed to constantly connect, touch, hug, talk, caress, do little funnies with each other, do little sillies. You stop doing all of that. Forget about blaming him for anything. You stopped doing all of that a long time ago.
Yep.
We can either blame the other person or realize this is what we haven't done, and this is what we need to do. This is what I need to do. I need to act like a wife. I need to remember my vows to love, honor, cherish. I need to act on them. Not just wait 5 years and complain. Because I tell you, it's harder to come back from 5 years than it is 6 months.
It's true.
He should be able to talk to you better than he can talk to anybody in the universe and vice versa. So reestablish that tonight. And the first thing you're going to do is what? If you get this wrong, I swear to God, I don't know what I'm going to do.
No, I'm going to put my
First thing you're going to do. Yes, good. First thing you're going to do is hold his hand. Excellent. Whew. Close. I didn't want to slam it twice on one caller. My number, 1-800-375-2872. What the hell, folks? Share rolls of toilet paper, but you won't talk? You won't say the truth, the reality? We're acting like we're strangers and we don't love each other and know each other and don't care about each other. Is this how you'd like it to be between now and dead? How about we just be blunt? This is terrible. You can't possibly look forward to coming home to me or coming home at all. Is that how you want it to be between now and dead? Really? Is this it? My number, 1-800-375-2872. Lisa, welcome to the program.
Hi, Dr. Laura. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you.
I'm a first-time caller. I've listened to you for a couple of years now. I love your show and your advice.
Thank you.
I need some help with how to handle some news that my daughter told me over the weekend. she told me that she had sex with her boyfriend. And ironically, earlier that day, I took her and my older daughter to go see the movie Unplanned. And I'm not sure if that triggered something inside of her to make her want to tell me.
How old is she again? How old is she?
She's 15.
And how old is her boyfriend?
15.
Okay. And what's the discussion you had with her? Tell me.
So when she told me, I tried not to react initially, although I wanted to throw up and scream and yell, and I was very disappointed. She was very upset. She was crying. She was apologizing. She was trying to make sure I didn't hate her. She said she didn't plan it, that it just kind of happened, you know, the usual things. She said that they used protection, which...
Well, then somebody planned it, dear.
Exactly. That's what I said. So I haven't told my husband yet.
Well, you're going to immediately, but how can I be helpful?
So I'm not sure how to better guide her.
Okay, let me help you with that.
Yeah.
Got something to write with?
I certainly do.
Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, write down 3 words, one under the other. Delusional, curious, and meaningful.
Okay.
Delusional is your daughter. Oh, this is so meaningful. I love him, so this is okay because I love him. And he loves me. This is delusional, comes from immaturity. Okay. Next one is curious. Gee, I wonder what all this is about. This is exciting. Curious. Last one is meaningful. This is the only one that matters. So you have to sit with her and tell her, let me explain something to you, my dear daughter. Boys and men masturbate all the time. It's sort of a difference in general between men and women. Women's masturbation is less frequent. Men's is more. Probably has something to do with penises being outside bodies and our stuff is tucked away. I mean, I want you to be blunt with her. So boys are constantly looking, especially with testosterone, for a relief of sexual tension. Now, normally they masturbate into something, a tissue, a napkin. If they get real lucky, they find a warm place to put it, and that's what you are. So you're really only a means of masturbation because this isn't love. This isn't a commitment. This is not a lifelong pledge of anything. You're a warm place to put it for a young male. And you need to write warm place to put it. A tissue or a napkin or your jammies is not a warm place to put it. Even with your hand there. Warmer place to put it is in a girl's vagina.
Yes.
So it used to be that men paid for a warm place to put it when it was not number 3, meaningful. And it's not meaningful. Meaningful is part of a loving commitment. We call that marriage. So there was nothing meaningful about what you did. You were a warm place to put it. Don't go back to number 1 and be delusional. No, he loves me. He's a 15-year-old boy. Love and commitment, taking care of your 84 kids and providing and protecting for you for the rest of his life has not crossed his mind.
Correct. Yes. I agree.
So, my dear daughter, your curiosity is now taken care of. The delusional, I expect, is not a category you can slip into anymore by trying to convince yourself that it's meaningful when it's not. That's what I mean by delusional. Trying to convince yourself it's meaningful when it's not meaningful. He's not in the place to make it be meaningful, not in maturity, not in age, not in stability, not in life experience. He is in no category able to make this be meaningful. So I suggest between now and marriage, you don't become a warm place to put it again.
Yes, and I told her some of the things that you said, so I'm glad at least I had got some of that right. And
good.
I did speak to her about how she felt about this, and she said she felt like she wasn't ready, and she said that she told him that she knows she can't undo what she did, but she doesn't want to do this anymore. Whether or not this is truthful, I'm just telling you what she told me.
Right. I believe she told you the truth.
Yeah, she, of course, I told her I understand she thinks that this is love or whatnot, but they're way too young, and it's just not something she should be.
No, that's why you have to give her words, delusional. You also have to use some vulgarity. You have to talk about warm place to put it, masturbation. You have to do those things because they really impress. When you skirt around the powerful words, it doesn't have the same impact. So when I tell a woman she's just a warm place to put it, that's very different than I'm not ready yet.
Right. Yes. So I'm hoping she's being truthful. I'm hoping that when I have
I
this
bet she is.
Yeah.
I bet she is. But you need to have this conversation with delusional, curious, and meaningful. And warm place to put it, number 4.
Yes. I've written all that down. And so,
good.
She's concerned. She said they use a condom. She promised all of that. However, after watching that movie, she's completely paranoid and concerned that she's pregnant. And 15-year-old cycles usually aren't, at least my children, their cycles are not normal at all.
Well, you can go to the grocery and buy one of the kits and wait a few days and take the thing, and then she can be relieved. But he's toast because he had the condom ready, not her.
Yes.
So he's toast. We want him gone.
Yes. Okay. The other concern, she's very worried about how her dad, my husband, is going to react, obviously.
Well, he's going to be very disappointed. And if you just tell him, don't act like an idiot, I've already discussed everything with her, and you can go through the list. And we don't need him to read her the riot act. It's done. If he wants to affirm that she'd be a warm place to put it for a young guy because he was once a young guy, he can tell her, yeah, that's true. But we don't need him to yell and scream, but he must know he's the father, and I don't believe that mother and father should split on these things. I believe they both should handle these things.
Correct. I told her the same thing. I told her
because it would destroy your marriage for him to find out you were hiding things from him. It would destroy the marriage.
Completely agree, and she knows that, and it's killing me that I haven't told him yet. I wanted to get some of your advice first and make sure.
Well, tell him I wanted some of her advice, and I got it, and this is what I did. Now I'm telling you, and I want you to be calm and let this go now because I've already handled it.
Right.
But she knows you know. Now leave it alone. I've already taken care of it.
Right. So how do I stop her from, this is like an impossible question.
You don't stop from anything. She needs to suffer what she's done. It's a consequence of the action.
Correct.
So in whatever number of days since she had the sex, find out if it's enough, take the P test, and then be done with it.
So telling her to get rid of the boyfriend, I know is easy.
No, you just tell him he is gone now. He's just gone.
Yeah.
We don't want to hear about him, see him. He's gone. He planned it.
Yes.
He had a condom. He got her alone. He planned it. Get rid of him. You just tell her he's gone. A boy who really cares about you does not do this at 15 when he knows you're sensitive and your parents will have a fit. I don't want to belabor this. He screwed her because he could. And he'd do it again, and he'll do it again to some other girl because he's a 15-year-old boy and girls are available. Come on.
Correct. Okay. That probably...
It's not life and death. She doesn't have a disease, and she's not pregnant. And she's remorseful. Let's just get on with life. Don't have a fit over this. Don't lose sleep over it.
Yeah, that's my overthinking in your intro.
She came to you. She came to you. Give it a rest, Mom.
Yeah, she did.
How many girls would have come to their mothers? We can give it a rest, okay? Calm down. Deep breath. Handle it, and then it's over with. But that boy is dead meat where he stands. My number, 1-800-375-2872. You may love your house, but like all of us, there's probably something you want to change or update, but you don't know where to start. Where can you look for a contractor or other renovation professional to finally get this room to function and look the way you want it to? Houzz.com is the place to go to find one. Houzz connects you with the best pros based on specific project needs, like budget and location. At Houzz, you can browse photos of professionals' completed projects and read reviews from real clients so you can trust you're hiring the best professional for your specific job. You may not know how much something should cost. Houzz can help you get familiar with typical project costs in your area and give you expert tips on how to budget for it. And once you decide on a pro, Houzz has easy-to-use tools so you can share ideas and narrow them down to make sure you're both on the same page for a happier renovation. Are you ready to get the chef's kitchen you've been dreaming of? Or a luxurious spa bathroom with a giant soaker tub? For a home renovation to make your home the place you really want to spend time in, Houzz can help you find the best professional for the job. Get connected with great renovation pros in your area free. Go to houzz.com/Dr. Laura. That's HOUZZ.com/Dr. Laura. Laurel, welcome to the program.
Hello. Thank you
Hi.
so much for taking my call.
Thank
I
you.
got to say, I'm a huge fan, and today is our 7-week anniversary. I got my car 7 weeks ago and was flipping through stations and found you, and it's been great.
That's sweet.
And I want to tell you, you might find this interesting. I'm 28 and my husband is 32, and we do not have Facebooks, and we still have flip phones.
Good for you.
Because we think if you get on the internet, it needs to be intentional, not just because you're bored. So,
Thank you.
But I was calling today because I have a really hard time focusing on one thing at a time. The only times I can focus is, when I'm with my husband alone and when I'm playing with my daughter. But, I'm doing the dishes. I've got to have some music going or something,
So what? What's wrong with that?
Or,
Ma'am? Ma'am, doing the dishes. Ma'am. Hey, don't tell me you have a hearing problem.
Yes. No, ma'am.
Doing your dishes or anything else, listening to music, is fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, can I describe it a little bit further?
Well, you gave that as an example, and now you're dissatisfied with my response that it's fine.
It's
You're going to
more
give me
than
another
just
example?
dishes, though.
Okay.
Like, for instance, right now I'm driving, and
Yes.
when I'm driving, I feel like I need to have somebody on the phone with me talking, because when I'm not talking on the phone, my head is racing
You can
around to
turn-
a million other things and I can't focus.
Are you on any medication? Are you on any steroids?
No.
Are you on any medication? Do you drink a lot of coffee?
No, ma'am.
Okay. From now on, use music for everything.
Okay.
So turn on music and sing with it. Don't call anybody. Got a better chance of living through your trip if you're listening to music than if you're talking to somebody. You have a greater chance of dying in a car crash.
Okay.
That level of distraction is not good. So turn on the music for everything. Reading, turn on classical music. Do it for everything for 1 week and then call me back. 1 week. And go do the right thing.
Over 100 extra music channels are now online and on the app. Sample some of them this week on your satellite radio. Listen to decades of music with 70s, 80s, 90s. Cool down to mellow beats with chill hop. And right now, get grilling with classic rock barbecue. Explore Sirius XM's extra channels all month long on Spotlight Channel 4.
Healthcare is the largest industry in the country, and with the tremendous growth of baby boomers, senior care is where the money is. Call now and receive a free report, The Senior Care Gold Mine, and find out why senior care franchises are the best investment in franchising. They are low cost and can be very profitable businesses. Some people with a minimal investment.
With you? get rid of your nervousness, get you squared away so you can make best use of your time. Unreal Zach Jones, engineering, orchestrating our music, producing the segues. Carson is ill today, but he will be fine. 1-800-Dr. Laura, 1-800-375-2872. We got 3 lines available. Wow. Jeepers, creepers. Let's fill them up. Got to talk to me. Come on. 1-800-375-2872. Don't like to see that many blue spaces. Come on. How do you say your first name? Esme?
Yes, Esme.
Esme, welcome.
Thank you for taking my call. Hello? 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 Hello?
That was odd.
Oh, I don't know what happened. Can you hear me, Dr. Laura?
Oh, there you now. I can hear you. What did you press?
Nothing. Maybe
Nothing.
my fat cheek pressed the button on my iPhone.
Well, your adorable cheek is now doing the right thing. So what is the origin of Esme?
Esme, it's actually short for Esmeralda, which means emerald.
Oh, Esmeralda. I like that. Very romantic name.
Oh,
okay.
Thank you.
What can I help you with?
Okay, I hope, I don't know, maybe it's a dumb question, but I'm calling regarding my 16-year-old
Let me decide if it's dumb or not. And if it is, I'll promise I'll tell you. Okay?
Thank you. I believe you. Thank you. Okay, my son is 16 years old. He's been in drumline marching band with his high school since he was a freshman. He's now a junior. And I've never dealt with a issue like this, but about 3 weeks ago, he said, "Hey, Mom, 2 students came to me and told me that the teacher, the music teacher, said that I'm done with music, that I'm done. He's kicking me out because, I missed one of the rehearsals." And I said, "How weird. Why would the teacher tell the students?" And yes, he did miss one of the rehearsals because he went with his friend, who the friend's dad got them tickets to a symphony concert for the boy's birthday. So he invited my son, and my fault, I said yes, he could go. He missed the rehearsal. So I emailed the music teacher and I told him, so-and-so, my son told me, I have the emails in case you want me to read them.
No.
My son told me that he's done with music because he missed a rehearsal. Please let me know. Haven't heard
I'm a little
anything about it.
confused. That was weeks ago. So how many rehearsals are there a week?
They have rehearsals every day of the week.
So 5
Monday
days a
through
week
Friday.
or 7? So they have 5 a week.
Monday through Friday. Correct.
Okay, can you
after
just
school.
stay with me and don't give me any extra words other than the direct answer to my question because I'm trying to get enough information, okay?
Okay.
So it's 5 days a week and this happened 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
So the day after not showing up, he has continued to show up and the teacher has said nothing.
Correct.
And you and your son went on gossip from some other kid.
It was actually true. I did receive an email from the teacher today. That's why I called. Yes.
But it was 3 weeks of going every day before you got an email of something that happened 3 weeks ago. Something's not right with the story. Because if he was going to throw him out, he wouldn't have been there for 3 more weeks of rehearsals. There's something wrong with the story.
Well, the teacher said he was out of town. That's why he hadn't replied.
For 3 weeks? So there were no
For 2
rehearsals?
weeks. This happened about 3 weeks ago when my son came to me, not immediately after. So when he told me, I emailed the teacher, and the teacher just
Okay,
emailed me
I'm
back
fine with
today.
him throwing your kid out. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
What I'm not fine with is that your son didn't go to the teacher in advance and say, may I have special dispensation to miss one session? I have this opportunity that I thought was wonderful, but if you tell me I can't miss rehearsal, I won't. Your son did not do that.
Okay.
So it's not only that he didn't show up, he was completely disrespectful to the teacher and the rest of the students.
I agree.
And in the weeks after that, the only thing we finally get is something from his mommy. I would have thrown him out also.
Okay.
And then, after throwing him out on his ass harshly to make him an example, I would have waited to see if he grew balls to come back, own what he did, say he was a jerk, beg forgiveness, and beg to get back in which case I'd put him back in.
Okay.
But nowhere in there did your 16-year-old boy act like a man.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I called you.
So, you tell your boy to go act like a man.
You got it.
Okay, great. Thank you. Oh, I forgot to tell her. Tell her, Dan. Call her back and tell her it was not a dumb call. She was worried it was a dumb. Definitely. It was a superlative, wonderful call. Taught a lot of things to everybody listening. Not just that he didn't show up, but he didn't have the respect to come to the teacher and ask permission. He showed total disregard for the band and his teacher. I would have dumped him also. And then waited for him to act like a man before I put him back in. And only if he acted like a man. Manned up. Man up. My number, 1-800-375-2872. David, welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, Dr. Laura. How are you today?
Good.
Definitely an avid fan and off and on long-time listener based on your terrestrial radio past, and now I'm serious. My question is regarding a dispute I've had with my wife for quite some time. And the question basically is what
argument? That was the first question.
I'll say since 5 years now. 5-year argument. This is based on the idea of we have 4 young children, and I believe we do a lot of things together with the family, and we spend a lot of time in doing things with the kids. But I don't feel like I don't feel that my wife and I spend enough time together on our own without the kids. We don't have that, as you would put it, the
David,
boyfriend-girlfriend
are you able to get your wife on the phone right now?
I would love to. Unfortunately, I can't. She's working.
Yes, but everybody at work has a cell phone, and they take personal calls.
Yes, I would do that. She sees patients. She's actually probably, so that's not.
She sees patients as a what?
She's a PA, physician assistant.
I know what a PA is, and what is her specialty?
But she's just primary care. I don't mean to say just. She's primary care.
So who takes care of the kids all day?
We have them in a Montessori school during the day, which I know you're not a fan of.
That's why she wants to spend more time with the kids, because she's not there raising them.
I agree with you. I do agree with you.
So stop arguing and try to find times in the evening where you put a picnic down on the floor in the living room and turn on a chick flick and watch it with her.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then plan something cute with grandma there. But she's an appropriately guilt-ridden mother who's not raising her children and is caretaking everybody else for a living and feels guilt about not spending the family time. So you're going to have to work around the reality.
Okay.
If she were an at-home mom, it would be a different issue. That's one of the consequences of the situation you have. So you're going to have to sneak together time in. Kids are in bed. You put some wine, cheese, and crackers on some blanket on the floor in the living room with pillows, and you turn on a stupid movie, and you hug, snuggle, and maybe even have some great sex. That'll be together time. My number, 1-800-375-2872. Kathy, welcome to the program.
Hi, Dr. Laura. How are you?
Good. What's up?
Okay. Well, you're going to tell me there's nothing I can do about this. And hopefully you're not going to gavel me. But here's the situation. I am older than I'd like to be. I have a...
Just want to get it out of your system, okay? Go ahead.
Thank you. I have a 33-year-old daughter who about every 2 or 3 years, there's like this neon sign that comes on in her brain that says, don't do something really stupid. And then she feels the need to run with it. And then she's good for 2 or 3 years.
Like what? What are the stupid things she runs with?
So this time, we're at the end of the 3-year cycle. She has 2 children. And
she have any fathers for the kids?
She does.
How many?
She has 2 fathers to go with her 2 children.
And is she married to any one of them or some third guy?
She is not. Dad, number 1, is very active in his daughter's life and pays child support. Dad, number 2, is, in my opinion, it doesn't matter what my opinion is, he is currently suing her for custody of the little boy who will be 4 in May.
And what are his grounds? What are his grounds?
See that happening. He lives in Minnesota, but can't seem to get from Missouri.
Yeah, but what are his grounds? Is he trying to prove she's unfit? Come on, you will get the gavel.
He's saying that she is unfit, but he can't get from Missouri to Minnesota without getting a
Okay, he's saying she's unfit because of why? Drugs, prostitution, what?
No, actually, he's just saying because she doesn't allow him to see his son.
Okay, that's not going to fly in court, but what can I help you with?
Okay, so now she is on guy number 3 that she's, I guess,
real skank your daughter, isn't she?
With.
Keeps bringing men into the situation. What a twit.
Well,
sorry.
You know,
and how you produced a twit
with the kids.
Okay, forget telling me about this guy because I really don't care. Tell me how I can help you.
Okay. This is my concern, is that I can't not tell you about this guy.
Yes, you can, because there's not a damn thing you nor I can do about the guy or about your daughter and her behavior. And it's more than every 3 years. You just don't know most of it.
That's probably very true.
So how can I help you? Do you have any other kids?
I do.
All
I have
your happiness of being a mother wrapped up in this one.
No. This is what I want to say to her, is that she needs to put
Don't waste your breath.
someone else.
Don't waste your breath.
Okay.
Don't waste your breath. Don't waste your breath. I mean, you can say anything you want, but it'll be wasted.
Yeah. So I've been texting her because up until Friday, I thought
texting her.
Okay. All was well. I did get a text back.
I need you to get a hobby other than your daughter.
Okay. And don't worry about the grandkids because that's my big
There's
concern
nothing you
right
can
now.
do about them. If the second guy is any good, he still won't get custody. And she's going to get knocked up by some other guy. And you know it.
I hope not.
Because your daughter's a twit. You know she will. Because that's her delusional way of actually getting a man.
Yeah. Until she gets tired of them, or I suspect she finds something she thinks is better.
Okay.
And then
you know,
she ditches
sometimes
this one
parents
for something
have to
else.
sit there and admit that one or more of their kids is just a piece of shit.
Oh, gosh.
And until you recognize and admit that to yourself, you're going to get ulcers. You're going to have headaches. You're going to have stomach aches. You're going to be distracted from a quality life. All kinds of other things. Nothing good.
Because I keep wanting to say that it's my fault that she's the way.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Because if a really shitty mother has 5 kids, they don't all become shits or drug addicts.
Okay.
So it seems to me that there is as we know from religion, that God gave you free will. In other words, you have a brain and you make your own choices. And there are kids who come from horrible families who do beautifully in life. And there are kids who come up from ostensibly good families who become narcissistic little turds and do badly in life. So it's not that simple as you were crappy. But since you maybe were crappy, instead of calling her on her stuff, you keep trying to be the good mother now that you should have been then. And it's not working because she has free will.
Tried to be a good mom. I made lots.
Well, you said you weren't. You said you weren't. Ma'am, I'm not gonna play this game with you. And people say they weren't. I take them on their word.
Okay.
Now, assuming you were not, it doesn't matter today.
Right.
We can't fix yesterday.
Correct.
And your daughter's choices are hers, and she will pay the price in the future when one or more of her kids doesn't like her.
Yeah. I'm just very concerned for them.
So am I. So
what?
We have no... Stop.
Okay.
Okay. Keep going. I don't want to stop you. I shouldn't.
Okay, because this is my concern. So,
ma'am, do you think I don't know what your concern is? She has full power over 2 children, and there's nothing you can do about it.
And that's true. But my granddaughter
Repeat after me.
Now.
My daughter has full power over my grandchildren, and there's nothing I can do about it. Say it.
My daughter has full power over my grandchildren, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Right. So stop kissing her ass on the phone or texts. Because right now, you'd like nothing better than to pick up these 2 grandkids, drop her, kick her somewhere else, and take care of them.
Yes, this is true.
I'd like to do the same thing, and I don't even know these grandkids. I can't do it. You can't do it. You got to live with it.
Okay.
The way I can help you is to teach you to live with it. And it's a misery to live with.
You, I
listen
have
to
learned
me. Listen to me. Listen to me. It is a misery to have to live with that. I have to live with it every day on this program where I try to help people, and some of them are just not available to it. But I remind myself that there are people at home who are hearing it and doing something wonderful with it. But ultimately, I can't control anybody, including you.
Right.
I can only try to influence you to understand that you are hurting your life and not helping the grandchildren with the worry and the attempts to tell her something or other.
Right.
Because she ain't listening.
I'm afraid you're absolutely correct, and I am so afraid that she's going to move from this situation.
See, you're going to keep going on with what you're afraid with? You're going to keep going on with it?
I'm sorry.
I know what you're... Stop. Okay. See, now you're an example of what I have to live with. What you just did is an example of what I have to live with. I think I've made the point. I think the person has grasped it, and then they just keep going like I never spoke. But I've got my thing to deal with, and you've got yours.
Yeah.
Stop that. Don't schmooze me. Just accept what you cannot change. My number one, as horrible as it is to have to do that, 1-800-375-2872. If it were me, I'd move within 2 blocks and act like, oh, you're so busy with your life. Let me help with the kids. So that I would influence the kids. That's what I would do. Put my body where my mouth is. If I'm really worried about them, get my ass right there. Schmooze her all to heck. Why don't you go back to school? Why don't you go do whatever you'd like? I'm here. I'll take care of the kids. And hopefully they have a sane and reasonable and loving and caring person taking care of them. So bitching about changing your daughter or son, why don't you just go do it? Take care of the kids. My number, 1-800-375-2872. Be right back.
And now we'll take a 3-minute push-up break.
Packages a day. Stamps.com and handle all that with ease. Just use your computer to print official U.S. postage 24/7 for any letter, any package, any class of mail, anywhere you want to send it. Once your mail is ready, just hand it to the mail carrier or drop it in a mailbox. It's that simple. It's no wonder why 700,000 small businesses already use Stamps.com, and right now, my listeners get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, plus free postage, plus a digital scale without any long-term commitment. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in Dr. Laura. That's Stamps.com and enter Dr. Laura. Amber and David, welcome to the program.
Hi, how are you, Dr. Laura?
Hi,
Dr.
Amber.
Laura.
Hi, David.
Hi.
So you guys are married how long?
We've been married for 6 years, almost 7, and we've been together for 14.
Wow, you started out as kidlets.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. What can I do for you?
I'm having problems with some of his sisters. He has 6 sisters. And one
David,
sister
you grew up with 6 sisters?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You poor guy.
Tell me about it.
Oh, geez. Okay, so how many of them do you have trouble with, David?
None, but they're sweethearts to me. I'm the only boy.
Oh, they're not sweethearts to your wife?
No, they're not. I wish they were.
And have you told them that that's unacceptable?
No, I don't think I really have. I haven't put it that blunt. I should.
So you're a limp dick.
No, I'm
See,
not.
they're alpha males and they're limp dicks. And I'll tell you the difference. Alpha males do what they're supposed to do as men to protect their women. Limp dicks just try to get along and let their women tread water.
I'm closer to an alpha.
No way. You said you've never told them their behavior is unacceptable. No way are you alpha.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I don't get the criticism. You know, they don't act this way in front of me.
What difference does it make? If you shoot people behind your back or you shoot them where you can watch, I've still shot them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Limp dick. Limp dick land. Oh, it's okay. I haven't, since I haven't actually seen it, then it's no big deal. So either Amber's a liar or you're a limp dick with respect to your family.
Amber, she was supposed to yell at you, not me.
Why? You're the one who is supposed to protect her.
You're right, and I'm going to work on it.
No, you're not going to work on it. You're going to hang up, call your sisters, and say, this crap stops or we're not seeing you anymore. You're going to act like a man finally so Amber can actually look up to you.
You bet.
Why would you think that I was going to give Amber crap?
Well, that was a joke.
Oh. Well, I'm glad you came on with her because you're the problem, not Amber. You're permitting her to be abused by your family. What kind of a man does that?
I don't necessarily think it's abuse.
I do.
Amber, would you explain kind of the problem that you're having?
I call it abuse. Bullying, abuse, unkind. I call it all abuse. So first your argument was you don't see it. Now it's not exactly abuse. See how avoidant you are in taking care of it?
I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Here's the problem that I'm having.
No, we're done. We're done.
Okay.
You are not to deal with his sisters anymore. Not your kids, not you. Your kids and you have nothing to do with them until he straightens them out. And if he can't straighten them out, then that's it. You have nothing to do with that family, those families. But you're not to take abuse, mistreatment of any kind. Never again. Nobody's supposed to be unpleasant, irritated, or anything. He even admitted he's the baby, so they're nice to him. He even admitted that in the beginning of the phone call, so he knows this stuff is going on.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Laura.
So your job is to do absolutely nothing, except you and the kids never see these people again until they change how they behave. That means all those family things, you're not, and the kids are not at them. Understand, David? You got a job to do.
Got it, Laura.
All right, sir. Thank you very much for your call. It's a man's job. Take care of his family. Protect his woman, protect his kids. It doesn't happen in front of me. Like it's wow.
Being there every day and listening to all of us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So I've been on hold trying to formulate my question. I got to pull over here so I can focus on talking to you. Okay. So I'm wondering how I can get my dad's wife to respect the fact that my sister and I are super sensitive to chemical fragrances, meaning when she wears perfume.
Well, I don't understand what you mean, how to get her to. I mean, has anybody made her aware that the perfume smells give you headaches?
Yes.
So she knows this and wears, ma'am, she knows this and wears the perfume anyway?
Yes, she believes that it's a personal attack on her.
Then
that
Amy,
it's part of her.
Then the answer to your question is the word nothing. So you have to make sure either the only time you see her is outdoors, not sure that would work, or not at all. And just tell your dad, since she just insists on wearing the perfume and you don't tell her not to hurt your daughters, I guess we're not going to get together. Stop agonizing. Put it back on him.
Okay, I haven't involved him in this at all. He was there when I talked to her this past weekend. I went for a visit.
Well, I'm sorry. I just talked to one limp dick. There are a lot of guys who are limp dicks, and because they sleep next to the woman. No, if he was an alpha male, she never would have worn the perfume in your presence again.
So when
Don't you understand
her,
that? You don't see her. No, you don't see her. Tell her I can't see you while you use perfume. Sorry.
Well, when I go to my grandma's, she's the next door neighbor, so I probably will see her. Then I just tell her I can't hug you because I don't want to get.
I don't want to have this fast becoming silly conversation. If it actually gives you migraines, then you have to not be around her because she doesn't care.
And then let me.
So go see your grandma and make sure you call your dad and say, I'm going to be there for an hour. Don't come over until I leave because the perfume will give me a migraine. If you can't handle these things directly, then I guess you're just going to suffer over them. And that's
I did handle it.
To say, yeah, well, goodbye. I just can't have silly. I can't have silly discussions. I have an allergy to silly discussions. I can't have them. I break out in hives. If you've told somebody something hurts you and they do it anyway to hurt you, then you don't be around them. That gets a big DUH. My number, 1-800-375-2872. Okay. Tanya and Diego, welcome to the program.
Hi, Dr. Laura.
Hi, Tanya. Hi, Diego. Hi, I didn't hear you. Can you speak up a little bit, sir?
Hi.
There you go. And how old are you, Diego?
I am 10 years old.
Excellent. What can I help with?
I just need advice for, I just need advice for me being 10.
For what subject do you need advice for? What problem?
Do you have a specific problem? Just in life.
You need advice for life?
Yes.
Okay. Let me give that a moment's thought of, I don't think I've ever been asked by a 10-year-old for advice for life. Okay, here's my advice. Here's my advice, Diego. You ready?
Yes.
When you're making a decision about whether or not to do something, imagine magically that all of a sudden you're 10 years older, looking back at the moment you're making a decision, and think, would I be proud to look back on myself doing this? That's my advice for life.
Thank you.
Only do the things that in the future you will look back on and be proud of yourself.
Thank you.
That's
You're
very
welcome,
good
sweetheart.
advice. Thank you so much.
Lots of hugs, Diego. Thank you very much. That's one of the most intelligent questions I've ever gotten from anybody even close to your age. So thank you. It was a good experience talking to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Can she clone him? Can I have one? 10 years old. I want advice for life. Isn't that amazing? He must be a very deep kid. He's going to probably be doing some important things in life. We're all going to hear about him in the future. Something special, I can tell. My number, 1-800-375-2872. Allie, welcome to the program.
Oh, yes. Hello, Dr. Schlesinger. I'm so happy to find you on Sirius XM. I used to listen to you on syndicated radio when I lived in New York.
Thank you. What can I help you with?
Well, I guess I'm coming to the end of a whirlwind last 5-6 years with fighting for my family, essentially. I don't have any other family. I have a mom who, without using certain terminologies, just is withdrawn. I do talk to her every day, but I keep it light. And when I need her, she chooses, obviously, her friends and in New York over coming out west to help me. I'm married to a man who I thought I was marrying an ex-Army Air Force officer who was a professional and a hard worker and an alpha male, which you've been referencing all day. And instead I got someone who is actually now diagnosed as unipolar, but it really looks like bipolar, ADHD, antisocial, and anxiety, plus chronic.
Well, antisocial started 100 years ago with him. So when you were dating him, how long did you date him? 20 minutes, a half an hour?
Yeah. I was older. I dated him maybe 6 months, got married within a year.
And you ignored certain things because?
Because I was getting older and I wanted children. And I thought it was my last hurrah.
And the consequence of being this impulsive is what?
Beautiful children.
Mm-hmm.
Now a caretaker to 2 small children and an older adult. Having to put all the weight on myself and just sleeping with one eye open, hoping that there won't be any consequences to the children. I
don't know what that means. Whoa, stop, for God's sake. What does that mean, consequences to the children? He's dangerous?
No.
Well, then why are you worried about... Well, then tell me what you meant when you said, I sleep with one eye open, worrying about the consequences to the children. One eye open means you're waiting to protect them. That's what that means. So tell me what you're worried about having to protect them from.
Ineffectiveness, lethargy, and them wanting to...
Ma'am, in the middle of the night, your children are sleeping. Lethargy by anybody in the city does not impact them. So what are you talking about?
worried that one day that they're going to start acting out with their behavior, or they won't perform as well as they can academically. We do argue. We have argued. I've turned that down.
Okay, I think some of your concerns are very reasonable.
Okay.
So you need to get help then. If your mother's not a help, then how old is the youngest child?
5.
5. How old is the next child?
7.
Oh, okay, they're very young. Okay. I think your concerns are very valid. You know, there's a problem that I have doing this program. When people know they're doing something impulsive and stupid, and they do it anyway, and then they compound it by making kids, and then call me about how this all doesn't work, there's nothing I can do.
I didn't know that there was mental illness involved.
Well, you know what? I don't believe you that in 6 months you didn't see some odd stuff. But as you said to me, I said to you, and I'll repeat myself, and I'll repeat what you said because I remember it. I said, so what did you do about the little red flags, the little problems that you saw? You said, I wanted to get married and make kids. This is the consequence of being impulsive like that. You thought it was your last hurrah. So when they're old enough, I guess you can take the kids in for family counseling and do the best you can to get them the kind of professional support they're going to need every week to deal with whatever is going on in this household. But why you crank them out so young when you knew there were so many problems is the impulsiveness because I wanted to have kids. And without thinking of the long-range consequence of having them with this kind of person. And there's no way. First of all, personality disorders don't come and go. They are. They're sort of an inherent part of the person, like their bone structure. So you wanted to ignore whatever to have kids. Well, you accomplished your goal. And this is the reason, this kind of call is the reason I do this on radio instead of a private office. Real hardwood flooring is beautiful, but expensive. What if I told you that you could have the most advanced hardwood flooring available for an amazing price? And then all you have to do is skip the big box stores, go to Talon Direct. Talon floors are independently tested to be #1 in scratch resistant and 4 times more durable than other brands. Everyone deserves the timeless beauty of real hardwood, and at Talon Direct, they're passionate about making it possible for you. Talon is so beautiful and durable that I'm installing it in my home right now. It's unlike anything on the market. Talon floors are made with sustainable hardwoods, beautiful, uniquely durable, and affordable. How do they keep the prices low? Talon is sold direct from the mill in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, and now you can get up to an additional 30% off through April 16th. Go to talondirect.com to get expert advice, a free catalog, samples, and to find your local Talon showroom. That's TALON, direct.com, talondirect.com. Rose, welcome to the program.
Hi, Dr. Laura.
Hi, what can I do for you?
So I would really like your input on probably a universal question men and women have. Can men and women just be friends without...
Only if neither one of them is hankering for more.
Okay.
If one is hankering for more, no, you cannot be friends because it's not equal. One is looking for an opportunity in a moment where all change and they get what they want. So if one wants more, the answer is no. If both of you are almost like girl, girl, boy, boy with no attraction or interest, then yeah, you can be friends. I have guy friends.
Yeah. Okay. That answers my question.
But if I was hot for them, no, I can't be friends. If they were hot for me, no, we couldn't be friends.
Yeah. Okay. And so it really is up to me to end the friendship entirely because I am growing feelings for him, and I don't sense any. I don't sense an equal.
Well, if you're going to disconnect, you have to tell him the truth.
Yes, we've had a discussion for clarification, and I.
Oh, so you already know.
Yeah, he was very
well, you
clear
can't
and very
be
honest.
his friend because you want him.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Also, he's taking up your time where you could find somebody to be more than a friend with.
Thanks, Dr. Laura.
Yeah, we got to free that time up. My number, 1-800-375-2872. Chelsea, welcome to the program. Chelsea? Okay. Chelsea's not responding. How do I make that? There you go. Dee, welcome to the program.
Well, hi there. How are you?
Hi there. Good. What can I do for you?
Well, I have a question about how to approach my husband of 47 years with an issue. We've not had sex for maybe 5 or 6 years because he has Peyronie's disease. Do you know what that is?
Yes.
Okay. And he's of course, very sensitive about it.
Why doesn't he deal with it medically?
Well, his urologist said there's really no treatment for it particularly, and I keep doing a little research on it, and I found that there isn't a treatment for it, a rather new one that is an injection into the penis. And I'm not sure how to approach him about it because he really just does not like to talk about it.
Well, I'd say I'm really excited. I found this. This is a possibility that could make it better, and we could get it on like we used to here. I downloaded it. You want to read this? Oh, all excited about it. This could be exciting for us. And then he can read it.
Okay.
And if he chooses not to do anything about it, then nothing's changed. You haven't had sex, you still won't have sex, so nothing will change.
That's exactly true. And I've told him, I said, it would be nice, but it's not a big. I mean, we're in our 60s and have had a wonderful almost 47-year marriage. And
okay, so download. That's beautiful what you're saying, but download and say this is possible. Here, just read it. See if it's something you would be willing to look at.
Thank you, Vera. That's a wonderful thing. We've had a lot of issues in the last year. I've had an amputation of my leg, and it's been a rough year. 2018 was not a blue ribbon year.
Well, do you guys kiss and pet and stuff like that?
Well, we kiss, but he kind of shies away if I try to get a little more intimate than that because he's embarrassed by the fact that he can't have an erection that's not painful. His erections are painful.
Right.
So, I don't want to do anything to upset
I don't
him.
know what the treatments are. I
don't either, other than I just
research that, but
every now and then
you can get on the net and with him and say, let's look at possibilities. And if not, I love you, you love me. We hold hands, we hug, we kiss, we snuggle, we sleep tight with each other. After all of these years, I'm really satisfied with that. That would be very nice and something very positive for the marriage. I mean, you certainly don't want to do something that somebody just came up with it and it's risky. You don't want to do that. In rock. My number, 1-800-375-2872. Okay, sorry, I get distracted. I hear Queen and that's got to be my favorite band of all time. Okay, now I'm going to piss people off. Queen makes the Beatles look silly. So all the Beatles people are going to go nuts on me now, and I don't care. You can put, I want to hold your hand. You can do all that. You put that against the Queen song, it fails. If you've been thinking about a renovation project like remodeling your kitchen, now is the perfect time. I was looking to install new cabinets in my home when Cabinets to Go reached out to me. They're the kitchen experts, and when I checked out their cabinets, I was impressed by what I could get for the price. Yeah, truthfully. They have premium features like solid wood frames, but the soft close drawers and hinges, that got me for much less than I expected. So I decided to put cabinets in my own home. In fact, soon they're going to be installing the cabinets in waterproof flooring. In a week? 2 weeks? 2 weeks, in 2 weeks. Plus, they've got showrooms all over the country and even do free 3D kitchen designs. And right now, Cabinets to Go is offering up to 35% off all cabinets and flooring through April 16th. Call 1-800-CABINETS or go to cabinetstogo.com to find a showroom near you or request a catalog. See for yourself why I chose them for my home. Call 1-800-CABINETS or visit cabinetstogo.com. I have the new week's Invisaligns in, and a little part is bothering me. After what? It's okay. I'm going to see the orthodontist today. I'm going to give me a little wax, put it over there. I mean, it is amazing. These Invisaligns, I know I'm going to sound like an ad, and I'm not trying to, but the top teeth are totally straight, and it's only been 8 weeks. They're totally straight now. Now we're working on the bottoms. I mean, we're working on both because they have to be coordinated so you can actually close your mouth and chew. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Carol, welcome to the program.
Hi, Dr. Laura. So I have a dilemma on how to react to this, and I wanted to seek your guidance for it. So I'm an hourly employee. I only work part-time, very part-time. I work 15 hours a week. And I don't know what's going on with my boss. I know that she has been more stressed out than usual. She has, I think, a lot of personal issues going on right now. And today is my day off, and I get a phone call from her. And it's slowly escalated. It's been like this for about a month or so.
You got a phone call from her asking what?
Well, apparently there is a piece of equipment that has been broken. She is my manager remotely from out of state. So we communicate primarily through email, and I let her know about 2 months ago that we had a piece of equipment that was broken, went back and forth on it, showed her pictures, and she was going to take care of it. And maybe I'm wrong for not following up, but she received a phone call from another employee discussing it and decided to call me.
I'm sorry. Let's go back to the original thing because you left something out, I believe. You informed her and sent her all this stuff. What was the upshot? Were you supposed to make an order, call a repair person? What was
No, I'm supposed to relay the information to her, and
You did that. And after you relayed the information to her, what were you supposed to do? Anything or nothing?
According to her, I'm supposed to remind her that, like to follow up with her to remind her whether she had ordered it. But there are several of us employees to whom she would have sent it to. I don't know.
So she called and said, "Why didn't you remind me?" And you said what back?
I said that I hear you. Well, she, in between her F-bombing and like up at the top of her lungs screaming at me about another employee that she was dealing with, and actually was a primary contact at that time regarding this piece of equipment.
Okay. Madam?
I let her know.
Who is above her? Madam, woohoo! Who is above this woman?
To be honest with you, I've never met her. It's a new regional that I'm not familiar with.
You call the regional and say, Miss Smith called, kept using the F word, screaming at me. I'm part-time. I informed her something was broken. She actually called and was screaming at me about some other employee and telling me I should have reminded her. It's very unbalanced, inappropriate, unprofessional behavior because you realize you could go to HR and sue just on that one phone call. So you need to call her superior and report the behavior. That's the professional, appropriate, grown-up thing to do, which women are more loath to do than men, because women are all about how things feel and instead of acting professional. So I'd like you to act professional and call her boss and lodge a complaint because you do have grounds for a lawsuit.
I think at the moment, what I was trying to do, I
don't care what you were trying to do at the moment. You shouldn't have been trying to do. I'm talking over you to get you to be quiet. There was nothing for you to do at the moment. It's not your job to calm her down, redirect her, or nothing. She called and misused her power. She has to be held accountable.
Okay.
If you're too wussy to do that, don't complain about it.
No, I'm just in shock, I think, right now, because I've never.
Oh, stop it. Then women should never be doctors in the emergency rooms or in surgery, or they should never be on the front lines at war. Because if our response as women is going to be, oh, I can't think, I can't do anything, I'm in shock, then we can never be in responsible positions where we have to take care of business. So you just embarrassed our whole gender.
Well, I wouldn't take it that far. I just feel like
I would.
That I literally just got off the phone with her and then called you because I was.
Well, I know you wouldn't, but I am disappointed when a woman says she can't handle the moment because she goes into shock. Then women cannot be in responsible positions, which require quick thinking. So that means we cannot be in the military. We cannot be in emergency rooms. We cannot be working in airplane towers where we tell people where to go. So there's not much we can do except flip hamburgers. And I mean that because I'm disgusted with how many women use the excuse of I went into shock.
Well, I don't, maybe that's not the right word that I'm using. I think it's more
Okay, then. Well, I have given you what I think is outstanding advice. It's up to you to decide whether or not you wish to take it. It's totally up to you. But I am disgusted with how many women on this program over the years, their excuse for not taking care of business in an assertive way is I went into shock. I figure if you have severe blood loss in a short amount of time, I am willing to accept that you went into shock. But if somebody's yelling and screaming at you and using the F word and misusing their power over you, fortunately, my peeps tolerate my calling them on their days off, hours off, because I'm sitting here working on either show prep or things for the boutique. And my peeps are much smart. Every one of them is much smarter than I am when it comes to anything computer. And I have to learn all of these things in order to make certain things happen. And I'll spend an inordinate amount of hours trying to figure it out, calling one, calling the other, and they're all patient with me. I am very fortunate. I have patient peeps. Because they know I'm not calling just to nag. I'm actually working. And I'm stopped by my ignorance of how to work a certain program because I am. I'm really not good at this. I mean, off the right-hand side here, I have 1, 2, 2A, 2B, 3 steps. Click this, grab that, save as, put a name, answer. Where is it going? Desktop. Hit save again, you idiot. So I write this all down so I don't have to call them back again. This morning, 3 of them helped me. April, Megan, and Mike Thomas, 4, and Dwayne. And by the time they all finished with me, I got it. Meanwhile, I'm holding my head, trying to pull out my hair, going, forget it. I just can't follow this. And then they all patiently led me through. This is the way to do it. Because what we do, I put something up on the screen, they'd put something on the screen, and it looked different from where they were and from my end. I don't understand. Why does it look different? So I'm lucky. I'm very lucky to have the peeps I have because they tolerate my nuttiness. Why can't I do this? What did I do wrong?